Gratitude is one of the most powerful yet often overlooked tools for building true self-confidence because it gently retrains the mind to recognize value instead of lack. When you consistently focus on what you appreciate, your abilities, your progress, your experiences, you begin to shift your inner dialogue from self-criticism to self-respect. This shift is not forced optimism. It is a conscious redirection of attention that changes how the subconscious mind responds to everyday situations. Inspired by the teachings of Dr. Joseph Murphy, this idea is rooted in the understanding that whatever the mind dwells upon repeatedly becomes accepted as truth. When gratitude becomes a daily habit, the subconscious mind starts to reinforce feelings of worth, capability, and inner stability. Instead of asking, "What am I missing?" you begin to ask, "What strengths do I already possess?" And that simple change has a profound effect on confidence. Gratitude reduces self-doubt because doubt thrives on comparison and fear, while gratitude grounds you in the present moment and reminds you of your personal growth. Even small acknowledgments, being thankful for your discipline, your effort, or your willingness to keep learning, can slowly rebuild trust in yourself. According to principles often discussed by Dr. Joseph Murphy, the subconscious mind does not argue. It accepts impressions as facts. When gratitude-based thoughts are repeated, they impress the subconscious with messages of abundance rather than limitation. Over time, this inner programming begins to reflect outwardly through stronger decision-making, calmer emotions, and greater belief in your own abilities. Self-confidence, then, becomes a natural outcome rather than something you chase or pretend to have. Gratitude also helps dissolve fear because fear is usually tied to imagined outcomes, while gratitude anchors the mind in what is real and already working. As you appreciate your strengths, your mind stops magnifying flaws, and you gain emotional balance. This balance creates clarity, and clarity creates confidence. Instead of relying on external validation, gratitude teaches you to recognize your internal value. Inspired by Dr. Joseph Murphy's philosophy, this approach emphasizes that confidence is not built by force, but by alignment, aligning your thoughts with appreciation, your emotions with trust, and your actions with belief. When gratitude becomes a lifestyle rather than an occasional practice, it quietly reshapes your identity. You no longer see yourself as someone trying to become confident. You see yourself as someone who already has reasons to believe in who they are. That realization is where authentic self-confidence truly begins. Gratitude becomes even more powerful when it is practiced intentionally and consistently, because repetition is what transforms a positive idea into a lasting belief. Many people think confidence appears after success, but inspired by the teachings of Dr. Joseph Murphy, confidence actually grows first in the mind, and gratitude is one of the fastest ways to plant it there. When you begin each day by acknowledging what you are thankful for, you send a clear message to your subconscious that your life already contains value and meaning. This message slowly replaces habits of worry, self-judgment, and insecurity. Instead of starting the day focused on pressure or expectations, gratitude allows the mind to relax, and a relaxed mind is far more receptive to confidence-building thoughts. As Dr. Joseph Murphy often emphasized, the subconscious mind responds to feeling more than words. When gratitude is felt sincerely, it creates emotional certainty, and that certainty strengthens self-belief. Over time, this practice changes how you react to challenges. Instead of feeling overwhelmed or doubting your ability to handle difficulties, you begin to trust yourself more deeply because you recognize how far you have already come. Gratitude also teaches patience with yourself, which is a key foundation of confidence. When you appreciate progress instead of demanding perfection, you stop viewing mistakes as proof of failure and start seeing them as part of growth. This mindset reduces inner resistance and builds emotional resilience. Inspired by Dr. Joseph Murphy's principles, gratitude works because it aligns thought, emotion, and expectation. When these three are in harmony, confidence becomes stable rather than fragile. You no longer rely on constant reassurance from others because gratitude reminds you of your inner resources. Even during uncertain moments, appreciation for your effort, courage, and persistence keeps doubt from taking control. Gratitude also reshapes self-image by highlighting strengths that may have been ignored for years. As you consistently recognize your abilities, your subconscious accepts a new identity, one rooted in capability and self-respect. This identity influences your behavior naturally, leading you to speak more clearly, make decisions with confidence, and approach opportunities with trust instead of fear. According to Dr. Joseph Murphy's philosophy, whatever you accept mentally becomes your experience. Gratitude helps you accept positive truths about yourself without resistance. Instead of forcing confidence through affirmations alone, gratitude makes confidence feel earned and authentic. It reminds you that you are not lacking, but evolving. When gratitude becomes part of your daily routine, confidence stops being an occasional feeling and becomes a steady presence. You begin to move through life with quiet assurance, knowing that even when challenges arise, you have the inner strength to meet them. That calm certainty is the true power of gratitude, and it is one of the most practical tools for building lasting self-confidence from within. As gratitude deepens into a way of thinking, it begins to influence not only how you feel about yourself, but how you interact with the world around you. Confidence shaped by gratitude is calm, steady, and grounded, not loud or dependent on approval. Inspired by the philosophy of Dr. Joseph Murphy, this understanding comes from the idea that the subconscious mind reflects whatever beliefs are consistently impressed upon it. When gratitude becomes a dominant mental habit, it rewires your perception so that opportunities feel approachable instead of intimidating. You stop assuming failure before trying, because your mind has been trained to recognize evidence of your own capability. Gratitude reminds you of past successes, lessons learned, and inner strengths that once carried you through uncertainty. This remembrance builds trust, and trust is the foundation of authentic self-confidence. Instead of asking whether you are good enough, you begin to move forward with the quiet assumption that you will learn, adapt, and grow. Gratitude also changes how you respond to setbacks. Rather than reacting with frustration or self-blame, you develop the ability to pause and reflect. You appreciate the lesson within the challenge, which prevents negative emotions from settling into the subconscious. According to principles often associated with Dr. Joseph Murphy, the mind cannot hold fear and gratitude at the same time. One replaces the other. When gratitude is practiced deliberately, fear gradually loses its influence. This does not mean challenges disappear, but your reaction to them becomes more balanced and confident. Gratitude encourages emotional stability by keeping your focus on what remains steady rather than what feels uncertain. Over time, this stability shapes your self-image. You begin to see yourself as someone who is capable of handling life rather than someone who must control every outcome. This shift is subtle, yet powerful. Gratitude also improves self-confidence by strengthening your sense of personal worth. When you appreciate your character, your effort, and your intentions, you no longer measure your value solely by results. Inspired by Dr. Joseph Murphy's teachings, this approach emphasizes that inner belief creates outer experience. As gratitude reinforces positive beliefs, confidence naturally expresses itself through action. You speak with more clarity, listen with more presence, and make choices without constant hesitation. Gratitude brings awareness to the fact that confidence is not about being flawless, but about trusting yourself to respond wisely. As this awareness grows, comparison with others begins to fade. Gratitude centers your attention on your own journey, making it easier to honor your pace and direction. This sense of alignment reduces internal conflict and strengthens self-respect. When gratitude becomes consistent, confidence no longer fluctuates with circumstances. It becomes an inner anchor, steady and reliable. Inspired by the wisdom of Dr. Joseph Murphy, this understanding reveals that gratitude is not merely an emotional response, but a mental discipline. Practiced daily, it shapes the subconscious mind to expect success, accept growth, and trust inner guidance. In this way, gratitude quietly transforms self-confidence from something you seek into something you live.